The next feature I'm going to show in this training video of RouteXL is the feature called round robin routing. We also call this traveling salesman routing, which basically gets the shortest route, including a set of points. So what it does is if you select, say, 5 or 10 points or 80 or 100, whatever you decide, it will work out the sequence in which you have to visit those points for the best optimization. It doesn't do anything else like time, etc., just the sequence, and it will also go around. So in other words, it will start at one point and end back at that same point. So to do this or to illustrate it, I'm just going to first choose a layer, which in this case outlets is the layer that's displaying right now, so that's fine. And I want to use drive weights. Now, we can actually also do crow's flight weights as well, which means that it will ignore the route network and do it basically as your eye sees it. So it will just ignore the route network, but in this case, I'm just going to illustrate drive weights. You're welcome to play with this feature. It pretty much does the same thing, but ignores the drive time. Time is always a good one to optimize by. We do want to only use selected only because I don't want to choose the whole layer because it's 822 points, so that will take quite a long time. And I'm going to just go ahead and select some points to illustrate how this will work. So as you can see here, we've selected 25 points. What we're going to first do is calculate the weights and then optimize the route. There's actually slightly less points in terms of the calculation because some of these points are probably very close together and they will be sitting on the same road network node and count as sort of the same point. All right, so here you can see the order, and if I zoom into this route that it created for me, it'll actually show you, let's say that we want to start from this point, start at, maybe just zoom to this point. There we go. This is the point that it's starting at, and then you can see with the arrow, it's also the one that's selected here in yellow. And if we click that, it'll select the next road and so on. I'm just going to move out slightly here. And there it shows you that's an entire route to the next point as well. And it'll show you with the arrows which direction it's going in. So the way that this route works out, there's some doubling over because it goes out and then comes back. And then what you can also do is you can say start at, which I showed. You can zoom to a particular node. You can pan to, and you can even reverse the direction. And then it'll turn all my arrows around and reverse the direction in here as well. So that is the round robin routing. And if you copy this out, you will get the order that you need to visit these points in. And you'll also see the total distance and the total time that you need to do that trip. So this is fine for salespeople very often if it's a very simple routing, but I do recommend if there's multiple salespeople and you don't want to spend a lot of time routing, you can use a tool like quantitative vehicle routing, which is RouteXL Plus at the moment, because that will do multiple routes at the same time, for instance, and take other factors into account, such as wait time at a client as well. And it will also calculate how much a particular salesperson can do in a shift, which this tool will not do. What I forgot to mention with round robin routing was that you can also add a delay in, which it will just add together. In this case, it's time, since we have a time delay time per point. And if I then say calculate weights and optimize route, it will then add in all this time as well, and I can also then get a sum of my delay time, which is 632 minutes, as well as the distance and time for the entire solution. I will now move on to the next video in the series.